Hi guys, Master Indigo here and welcome back to Lock and Load Day 4 of Crimefest 2017, which is obviously named Lock and Load as you can see here. So Day 4 is once again a day with no updates. We're getting an update every 2 days. Tomorrow is an update, yesterday was an update, today is something else, and it was actually a VR AMA. I was actually kinda sure it would be something like this. Many people thought it would be the VR beta release, but I didn't that was going to happen during this event. It would be kind of a lot of work, and it wasn't an update day, so that's basically why I figured it would be some information about the VR beta, which is basically exactly what happened. So the VR beta is gonna launch in about a month. I think it's 25 or 26 days from now. So it's gonna be only available for HTC VIVE currently. It's gonna have a dash mechanic which is closer to teleportation than anything else, which is a little bit boner killer, so to say. I like trackpad movement on VR a little bit more than teleportation, but we'll have to see how it works. I hope my VIVE starts working, or if I can get it working during this time, because currently it is not showing any picture. I'm not sure if it's completely broken or is it just the 3-in-1 cable. Anyway, I'll have to contact HTC and get myself a new one, hopefully in time for that. So if you want to, you can read all the questions and answers on the Steam forums. It's linked down here, and also here is the small riddle to honor. At the feet of owl, yuck, owl, rhinoceros, owl, iguana. So what it spells out, yeah, I don't even know. I don't even know, but if you don't know where it is currently located, it is inside the vault in Shadow Raid. So what you have to do, obviously, to get inside the vault in Shadow Raid is to get access to 2 key cards and open the vault, and it is on the left, just sitting on a shelf. People actually found out this already yesterday, but because there was no a riddle to come with it yesterday, I didn't really want to show it during yesterday's video. I think it was meant to be shown with this riddle, even if I don't really understand the riddle. Anyways, what we can see here in this comic is that Locke is sitting on a bunch of guns, old murky water hardware. All these guns can't be just a standard trade. We'll find about it more tomorrow. So what we're gonna get tomorrow is obviously an update. I think it was the race. I don't even know. I don't actually remember what was day 5 icon. Was it a heist? Is that heist coming tomorrow? Sorry, I don't actually remember. But anyways, what we can see here on the wolf's hands is interesting. It's a bull up weapon, and it looks like it might be something we might get tomorrow, or maybe the heister is tomorrow. Sorry, I don't remember if the heist is tomorrow or a new character. Anyway, I'll put it on the screen and you can see what it's going to be. So this looks like a new weapon, or it's also possible that it could be a weapon modification for something existing. Because if we take a look at this picture that somebody linked on Reddit, sorry, I can't remember your name, I'll put your name here. So we can see that this is actually what it resembles, and this is actually a really nice looking weapon. In real life, I think this is like a frame for AK rifle, like a different version of an AK, even if it looks really weird, or maybe it's for Saiga, or it could be completely different. Maybe it's the railgun, what I would actually like, because obviously Payday 2 is not completely realistic. If they bring a weapon that looks like this, it could be a railgun, it could be a goddamn laser gun for all I care. But if it turns out to be another AK, I'm a little bit disappointed, because we have so many normal firearms. I'd rather have more special weapons. The latest Killing Floor updates, the Halloween update, was really good because it brought more special weapons to the game, and I'd like to see that more in Payday 2 as well. More special weapons, because we have so many classic firearms already. Obviously, it's nice to get something classic, as we got the M1 Garand lately. That's a super good gun. Not only stats was, but everybody loves the Bing. And yeah, but this might be coming tomorrow, or hopefully tomorrow. If it's not coming out tomorrow, I'm a little bit sad, and so on. But we can actually take a quick look at all the questions here. And I'm gonna come back to you after a while I've taken a look at these, because otherwise this video is gonna be super long if I just read all 25 pages without stopping. So see you in a while. So before I was actually able to read through all the answers myself, I actually found this VR AMA summary from Eden of Helix VR from the HTC VIVE Reddit. So thank you for putting down all the information so I don't have to go through it, like read the questions, answers, if there's multiple similar questions and so on. So let's take a look at them here. So the beta will release on November 16th, so a little bit less than a month. So if you have basic version of Payday 2, you can play, and if you have the VR version, obviously you can play together. So no need to own any different games or anything like that, but the beta will be in the beta tab, so both of you will be you need to be in the beta branch. So you just open Payday 2 properties branches, and then it's going to be there, VR beta or whatever that's gonna be called. Locomotion and movement. The locomotion will be a dash. You choose a location and then your character will dash there. The dash will be nearly instant. In third person, this will look like you are running. So it's almost like teleportation, but not quite. I think this is mostly because of stealth, so you just can't teleport out of guard's way, which is going to be a little bit strange, but I don't know. There is a range and cooldown associated with dashes. There are dependent on skills and armor. You are not blocked by enemies and NPCs. Alright, the actual dash range and cooldown will be subject to balance during the beta. The guards can see you mid-dash, so there is no way to teleport past the guards. Stealth is one reason why you use the dash system rather than true teleport. Yeah, and I think dash system is a little bit less disorientating than just basic teleport, because in teleport you just appear in another place. In dash you can see whenever you go from place A to place B, like, well, an animation, so to say. So it's a little bit better, but obviously I'd like to see other movement options, but they have said that those are not coming during the beta period of the VR version, sadly. As it says here, we can look into a trackpad system once the beta has been released. We are not against the idea, since a lot of people have requested this. No changes will be made until the launch of beta. So not sure how long it might take for them to create another movement system, but I'm not assuming that's going to come during this year at all. For driving, there will be a separate control scheme for acceleration and braking, and then you steer by grabbing the steering wheel. So basically you are going to hold your controllers like you were holding a steering wheel and just turn it around, I guess. We are experimenting with how climbing ladders will be handled, so I assume they don't really have an option. Maybe it's gonna be teleport from down to up or something like that. I don't know, because basically there is no climbing animation in Payday 2. You just climb and you can still use your weapon during that time, kind of like in CS. So it's gonna be a little bit interesting how this will be handled. Your character is moved where your head is, the HMD. This moves the character in game, and it has same hitbox as the desktop version. If you hide your head in a wall or a safe, it will fade to black and teleport you out of the wall, so no cheating that way. Hopefully it works properly, because if it doesn't, you can see what place has correct loot through a wall or something like that, and you gain an advantage that way. Your hands are tracked locally to make sure you can't shoot or interact through walls. The fade is fast enough to prevent you from seeing anything inside the boxes. Alright, that's nice, obviously. The dash will always be at maximum available speed. So if you have armor, it's going to be slower, I assume. If you have dodge build, you will be faster at dashing. The dodge system will work like in desktop version. There may be some skill related to dodge that may change somewhat later in beta period, so dodge will work, that is confirmed. You can go prone, however for the release there will be not a third person state for this. It would affect game balance quite severely. So you can go prone, obviously if you want to lie on the ground, you may do that. Although I'm not sure if there's no third-person animation, will your detection is going to be obviously not as small as you would like. You will be still easy to spot by guards, I assume. I think you're gonna be crouched or something like that. Jumping is handled by the dash system. If a jump is available to the location you have highlighted as target, you will jump there. So no need to jump in real life and break your lamp or anything like that. Then we have some general information. VR will be part of the main game. The VR and desktop players will have access to the same content. They will be able to play together on all heists, and this is obviously awesome that you can play together with even those people who only have the normal version, no access to VIVE or anything like that. The game is developed for the VIVE. Oculus support will be looked if there is enough interest. Will be later in the beta or post-release. So for currently, it's going to be only HTC VIVE. I'm sure that with some tweaking, if you are confident enough, you can tweak to think that your PC thinks your Oculus is a VIVE, and that way you can play the beta. I'm sure there are tutorials online at least. You can play the Oculus only titles on VIVE and so on, so I assume it works the other way around. The actual beta period schedule is not set. We will see how long we need the beta for, as well as how many periods we need. So it's starting in 16th, it may be multiple months or multiple weeks, most likely multiple months. I think maybe next year there's gonna be a full release, but I would say at least 6 months. You are going to be using the same profile and progression in VR and on the desktop. We have not yet decided if you can keep progress in the beta or if saving will be disabled to avoid issues during the beta period. Alright, so you can gain access to all your builds you have ready, no need to grind again and so on. Not surprising for me, but it's always a nice thing to see something like this. Height will be adjusted automatically, so you will not be stuck in crouching for shorter people. So yes, if you are short, your character obviously will not be crouching. Whenever you apply your headset and run the room setup and so on, the game will detect how long you are and so on. So third person animation shouldn't be you crouching and not limiting your speed and so on. There'll be chances to skills for VR. There are some skills that will not be working as intended in VR. There will be addressed during one of the beta periods. Skill changes will not be ready for the first period of beta, and skills will simply not have an effect until they have been addressed in later period. I'm not sure which skills they're talking about really. Obviously most of the skills can work easily, like obviously running speed might be something, because I mean it uses a dash system, so it could be usable, but I don't really know. There will be a rollout of the VR content. Each period will add new content and focus on different aspects. Non-VR players seeing your gestures is not a priority before a beta release. So yes, third-person animation are not going to be a thing. They are going to be exactly the same as what is currently in the game. So basically, unless there is a VR icon next to someone's name, you won't even know that they're playing in VR. Otherwise, I don't know. Maybe they play a little bit worse, maybe even a little bit better depending on the heist and difficulties, but maybe you don't even know that they're playing in VR. There will be a beta period devoted to game balance. There will be a difference between VR player and the desktop player. Obviously, because you have two hands, you can do different things with two hands that you couldn't do in normal game. However, our approach is not to match VR player exactly to PC player, but rather giving them a different way to play that will let them have the same survivability. So yes, hopefully, because obviously ducking, crouch jumping and things like that are going to be much harder in VR version. Obviously crouch jumping is not going to be a thing at all, which is something I personally do in a dodge build a lot, and especially stealth. So that is not going to work in VR version, obviously, because it's automatic jumping and so on. And yes, Payday 2 VR, if you didn't know already, it's going to be free to the owners of Payday 2. It doesn't matter if you only have the base game or all the DLC, you can gain access to it all the same way. The exact number of heists in the beta period is not yet set. We will see what heists the community would like to test first. So alright, the beta branch is not going to have all the heists. I'm kind of okay with that, because obviously some of them might have some balance issues, some performance issues, I don't know, because obviously in order for you not to feel sick in VR, the game needs to run at 90 FPS at all times with no frame drops at all. We want to have an open discussion about identifying players as VR players. We don't want to segregate the communities while still let players easily play with each other. So yes, this is something kind of like, if there's a VR icon, it's a 1-down difficulty, people might kick you because, well, he's VR player, he's not going to play the same way, things like that. So I don't know how this should be handled. Hopefully in a good balanced way, but we shall see during the beta. Weapons and combat. There will be 2 reload systems, 1 active and 1 automatic, to suit as many playstyles as possible. There will be some bonuses associated with choosing an active reload system. So obviously, active system is that you have to actually grab your gun, eject your magazine, grab another magazine from your wherever it's gonna be your vest, insert the magazine and cock your weapon and so on. So after that, I mean, obviously you might be able to do that faster than automatic reload. Automatic reload is always going to be the same speed, I assume. Skills might affect the speed of that, but if you're good enough in reloading your weapons, the active one might actually be better and faster, depending obviously how fast you can do it in real life. There will be a system where you press the reload button to trigger the reload. There is a reload timer next to your gun. There will be a box on your inventory belt. It will also show the reload timer. Once the timer is done, you can intersect the gun with this box and your gun is reloaded. Alright, so sounds kind of simple, If you're using akimbo, you will have 1 gun in each hand and they can be fired individually in different directions. Just like the desktop version, they will have 1 ammo pool. So basically you can aim your left hand at left and right hand at right and shoot in those directions, do some matrix shit and all kinds of cool stuff, shoot under yourself, over your shoulders, whatever, and so on. That might be kind of fun. And then there's also not all weapons will be available during the beta. For example, bows will need further development before they are in a state where we want to release them. Obviously, bows are a little bit different than normal firearms, so it might be a little bit harder for you to actually control them. So not during the beta, hopefully in the full release though, because I love my crossbow. You can choose to grab the front of the gun, but it will be not necessary to play efficiently. So you can have one hand only in your assault rifle and still use it. We'll have to see how that works out. All the weapons will be able to handle with one hand, and two-handed will be available for long weapons like rifles. So there's a star here and all. I assume that means because we don't have crossbows or bows or anything like that, that maybe whenever those are added, you will not be able to use bows with only one hand. But even minigun, you can use minigun in one hand, so that's something crazy. You can shoot around corners. This is one of the ways VR players can reach the same survivability as a desktop player. So yes, you can shoot around the corner without exposing yourself. This might be interesting. Also might be something they need to balance around. I don't know how that's gonna be handled. But obviously if you just run in middle of an enemy crowd, you're gonna be at disadvantage, considered you're a little bit slower to react than a player with keyboard and mouse in their hand. You can equip the melee weapon and swing away. You can even have a weapon and melee equipped in each hand. So this might be actually kind of interesting for stealth. Kind of have a knife in your other hand, a silent pistol in other hand. Try to go with those knife kills. And if somebody spots you, just shoot them with the pistol. VR melee will not change, but have higher damage. So is it going to have higher damage or not? It says VR melee will not change, but it will have different damage. So alright, hopefully it's going to be actually usable then. Usable meaning if you swing your heavy sword at an enemy, they actually die and don't take just 30 damage. We're looking at how to properly convert stability in VR, and here we will use the beta to test how to solve the issue. Accuracy will work in a similar way how it works in the desktop version. As for snap zoom skills, they will provide a different effect for VR player. Obviously snap to zoom is something that skills would not really affect, because that is something you have to do manually. So it will obviously differ on how quick you can do that in real life. So this skill will obviously be completely different for you if you're playing in VR. Grenades and bags will work the same way. For the beta, you hold them in your hand, aim and launch them. Alright, that's basically all the questions from the VR AMA. Hopefully I can get my VIVE working in 1 month. If not, hopefully a little bit later, because I want to get going on Payday 2 VR. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you tomorrow. Master Indigo, signing out.